Hi everyone, my name's Assassina. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video because I just need to talk about Cobra Kai after finishing the entire series, which ended yesterday, February 13th, 2025. So I know this is a gaming channel. I normally don't talk about shows or movies or any other things that I consume on YouTube, although I do talk about it on like Twitter and Threads or whatever, but I just love this show so much, and I feel like this is probably my favorite show ever, having finished it, because the ending was just so perfect. And this show was special to me in so many ways, and I'll get into those ways. This isn't a review. I don't have a script, so I'm probably going to talk about this in the most disorganized way, but I needed to talk about it. And of course, I want to hear what you guys think about the show if you watched it. Even if you didn't like it, feel free to share your opinion in the comments. I need to talk about it. It's so good. After I finished the final season yesterday, I literally cried because I was like, I'm never going to get this back as like my first experience of watching it. Like that's it. It's done, right? These characters that I've grown to love and these stories that I've loved. I mean, literally since the 80s, because I mean, this is basically a sequel to Karate Kid, which was developed in the 80s, right? And I was a child. And so then to see all these characters brought back from those old movies as adults, and for them to develop the characters further than they did at the time when the Karate Kid movies came out, and do it effectively and in a way that's actually really, really good and makes sense and develops the characters in a way that I hadn't even imagined, it was so perfect. And I think that if you want to get to know me as a person and kind of what my vibe is, I think watching Cobra Kai and even the Karate Kid movies to an extent, because they're related, especially 1 through 3, 1 and 2 really, to be honest, would inform you a lot about my vibe, I think. I used to do karate as a kid. I think every kid in the 90s did karate. It was like the thing to do. Being a ninja was like the coolest thing. That's why my name is Assassina-san, which I know assassins and ninjas are different, but there's ninja assassins, and like it's just all within the same realm, you know. Being a 90s kid, I took karate, and one of my favorite movies was Three Ninjas, and I love Naruto, you know, from high school all the way to college until, you know, Shippuden finished. And basically this show, sorry, I'm so used to talking about games. This show, Cobra Kai, is a tournament that you would see in an anime, like the Budokai Tenkaichi tournament in Dragon Ball, or the Shonen exam, Shujin. Sorry, it's been so long since I watched it. The Chunin exam, right? In Naruto, and there's so many other like shonen anime that have some kind of tournaments that are just really, really fun to watch. And so this show had the tournaments, it had the drama, the teen drama, it had comedy, and it was also a martial arts movie, which in the 90s was like some of my favorite things to watch. Like I love martial arts movies. So it was everything that I love packed together while developing characters that I've known literally my entire life. So when I tell you that I love this show, I love this show. And I know it's not perfect. I'm not here to review it critically and say like, oh, like the cinematography and blah, 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 which the last few episodes were very cinematic and done very well. And I like that they didn't go too hard on the flashbacks, but they used them so damn effectively. Like, it's not like Naruto, like, where you have like flashbacks happening every 2 seconds and then they give you a flashback of something that had happened 5 minutes ago. Like, no, they use these flashbacks from the original Karate Kid movies and from within the show in a way that is so incredibly effective in the music and things like that. Also, I love the Rocky movies, so that also has DNA in it. There's definitely some inspiration there, especially in the last few episodes with some montages that happen. I'm not gonna spoil, by the way, the show immediately, but I will eventually in this video. Again, I'm gonna be rambling and I'll try and warn you. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I love this show, and not because it's like critically good. I know it has plot devices that help move the story forward. I know there's a lot of elements of the show that are very corny, which I love. I guess I'm a corny ass bitch. Actually I am. And that's fine. That's who I am. I've accepted it. But it also has like a lot of like meaning behind it. Some of the messages in this show are incredibly impactful, and I'm going to get into what those are as well. But the most important reason why this show is so important to me is because, I'm sorry, I actually cried when I finished the show yesterday because I knew I wasn't gonna get my first time back with the show, and I knew it was gonna be the last time that I ever saw it for the first time, and I just felt so connected to these characters, and I just loved it so much. And when my cat passed away, in 2021, that's when I started the show. I didn't start it when it started, I think, on YouTube. I was obviously grieving, and I even played, I think I was playing Cyberpunk 2077 at the time. And that game, like, while it was a distraction from my cat deteriorating and then eventually passing away, it actually only added to this dark cloud that I was feeling. And when I watched Cobra Kai for the first time, it was like the first time that I laughed. Sorry. I didn't think this would happen. It was the first time that I laughed because it was just so lighthearted and funny and silly, but also like had so much meaning, and it was nostalgic and bringing back a part of my life that I hadn't been in touch with for a while because I hadn't seen Karate Kid in a while. And I love the 90s, and I think that was the best time to be a kid, and it was just like a flood of like happiness that came over me and that stood with me like in every single season. I'm so sorry. Not every season was like as strong as other seasons. Like some of them obviously weren't as good, but I think as a whole, especially the way this show ended, was just so good. And especially like the meaning of like accepting the things that you have and taking a moment to appreciate those things and consider yourself a winner because you have those things, and not sort of looking to what you don't have and thinking yourself as like a loser or somebody that's not worthy of anything or bettering themselves, because you are a winner as long as you have your health and as long as you have people that care about you, and as long as you take a minute to appreciate those things, like, you will get what you want, and it'll help you grow more as a person. And so that was just really good. I'm so sorry. I might need a minute. Even if you criticize Cobra Kai, it's okay. Don't feel like, oh God, like this girl's crying, I can't criticize it. No, please, like, say what you gotta say. I have criticisms of it too, but I'm not really gonna talk about them because I'm just talking about my experience with this show as a whole. So, I'm not gonna create controversy or anything, but I feel like thinking about life in the 90s versus now, everything was so lighthearted, which is why I say it's like the best time to be a kid. Because people, I'm gonna try not to cry, oh God, I gotta get myself together. I feel like people have become so overly sensitive these days, and I know sensitivity is a good thing. Obviously, I'm being very sensitive and vulnerable right now, and that's healthy, right? Because we're human. But at the same time, I feel like we're so vitriolic over like stupid things, and we're nitpicking at every fucking little thing to the point where we're demonizing people for really not that big of a deal things, and we're forgetting to demonize people who are actually doing bad things. And so I feel like this show has like a nice balance of like the 90s kind of loosey-goosey, the way we like would banter at each other, like the way Johnny Lawrence speaks to his students and calls them like, you know, stupid nerd, four eyes, whatever, stop being a pussy and stuff like that. Like, he's not saying it to hurt their feelings. He's saying it to toughen them up and to show them that no matter what people say about you and no matter how much bullying there is, like, you got this. Like, you can still be stronger. You can still be a better person. Like, don't let that stop you. Don't let that bring you down, right? Let it propel you forward and make you stronger. Like Johnny Lawrence is a character, which he's my favorite character for sure. I also love John Kreese, and I also love Chosen and Samantha LaRusso, Tori. Like, those are like my favorite characters. Miguel. I feel like Johnny specifically makes a lot of like old men from the 80s mistakes, right? Of like not knowing how to like properly refer to people and be woke, right? In fact, he even makes a joke saying like, oh, I'm awake. And I feel like it just balances like the fact that he's just a human from a different time, and like we don't need to be so freaking hyper focused on our words and like how we speak to people. Like, yeah, we could be mindful and like let's not have intention to hurt people, but like also let's respect the fact that not everyone's out there to fucking get you, and some people, like, may say things because they're used to saying things without even trying to hurt anyone, and, like, we just don't need to be so serious. Like, we just need to fucking chill. You know what I mean? So that's one thing about the show that I really like, of many things. The fact that this show developed the characters that I've known since I was a child, and it's the same characters coming into this show and evolving in their own ways. And Johnny, well, actually, now I'm gonna get into spoilers, so if you don't want them, I would stop. But, like, Johnny getting that redemption arc, which I know it was a plot device for, you know, him to, like, get married and have a baby on the same day. Like, no one would ever allow a whole mariachi to come into a freaking hospital to propose while his wife's giving birth. But that was to, like, push the story along so that we can focus on the things that actually matter, which is the badass tournament. That was, like, something to push the plot forward. Them all of a sudden needing to do, like a final match between the senseis because the teams, the Iron Dragons and Cobra Kai, were tied, is also, like, a plot device just to have freaking Johnny Lawrence finally win. And then he uses, as his final freaking blow, he steps back in the way that Danny LaRusso did when they fought each other in the 80s, right before Danny LaRusso did the crane kick. But he didn't use the crane kick. He just stepped back and waited to be attacked by his opponent, Wolf, Sensei Wolf, and then did the sweep the leg, which is what John Kreese taught him how to do. And that was just so perfect. Like, the way they balance, like, Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai fighting skills and philosophies and things like that, and how there was, like, an acceptance of both of them, and both of them worked and didn't work in certain situations. It was just so good. Like, I want to learn Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai now. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic. And I didn't even think that they were gonna have the senseis fight each other, but it makes so much sense because this is a story about Cobra Kai. And I had no idea how they were going to have Cobra Kai come back where they're not the bad guys, because Cobra Kai was given into the hands of Kreese and then it was given into the hands of Silver. But yeah, like, Cobra Kai went into the hands of multiple people. It eventually became, like, a bad thing, you know? There was a death literally with the name, the Cobra Kai logo attached to it, like, all these crazy things. And then to see Cobra Kai wind up back in the hands of Johnny Lawrence after John Kreese had his redemption arc, and just realized, like, after that kid died under the Cobra Kai logo, that this is not what he wants, and that he needs to repent and whatever. And then having the original Cobra Kai people come through, Johnny Lawrence, Miguel Diaz, and Tori, just come and compete and win. It was just so epic. And the way that they won, seeing that they're using the Cobra Kai style, like, they're striking first, they're striking hard, right? No mercy. Also, speaking of no mercy, oh my god, the way that John Kreese went out was so badass. Holy shit. And the fact that, like, I knew he was, like, probably gonna commit suicide in some kind of way, because he was sort of talking to everyone that he cared about, which was Kim and Johnny Lawrence and Tori. Those were the three people that he actually loved in some way, shape, or form. And to see him, you know, have closure with them and apologize for all the, you know, the shit he put them through, because he did put them through a lot. Although there was love and care, his approach was not the best. To see him, like, at the very end, get on Silver's boat and sacrifice himself just to get Silver out of the picture, because Silver was actually going to hurt Johnny's family after he got married and had a baby, and he even, like, interacted with the baby right before he literally was like, oh, what a cute little baby, and then wanted to put them in harm's way. And John Kreese came into it, murked his fucking mercenary, and they had one last battle on the boat, exploded the boat, and right before he was about to throw the cigar onto the oil can, he was just onto the gas or whatever it was, the explosive, he was just like, no mercy. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Like, what a badass way to go out. And I do kind of wish that they had, like, some kind of way to acknowledge the fact that he's not here anymore. And I think they did kind of touch on it when Johnny was looking for him in his final battle. Like, he wanted to see his sensei, see him win. And we didn't really get closure on that. But then again, I think the way that Kreese went out, they probably wouldn't know what happened. So Johnny probably just assumed that he left because they had their little, like, daddy-son talk and stuff like that, and Johnny got to tell him, like, how he felt, and Kreese got to tell Johnny how he felt and things like that, and it was all really beautiful and really good. Every character got closure. Like, there were so many open threads of, like, different relationships and characters that it was like, well, what's gonna happen with these characters? And at the end, they tied all of it, even if some of it was plot specific just to move the story forward and maybe, like, kind of silly in some ways. The fact that we got closure on all those characters is something that I feel like a lot of shows fail to do, and it was just really nice to see how every character and every relationship wound up. I feel like not just the characters that we knew from the 80s, like Danny LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence, having their, like, development and character changes and all the turmoil that came in between that, but every other character also had some really good development. Like, I'm thinking about Samantha LaRusso, who in my opinion was, like, one of the biggest villains in the first few seasons because of how she was playing with Miguel and Robbie's heart. Although that wasn't 100% her fault. Like, they were at fault too in some ways. I'm not blaming her. But just her kind of, like, I don't want to use the word privilege, but, like, well, she's privileged. She has, like, a lot. She's rich, like, she has a family, she has things easy, and then she's interfacing with these characters who are going through a lot of struggles, especially Tori. Which her story, oh my god, I felt for that girl so much. And so did Samantha's mom, Amanda, which is why she's one of my favorite characters, because she's one of the characters that she's just there to help everyone, and she gets everyone, and she's just really, like, a really good mediator and so caring and just like a badass wife. But yeah, like, seeing Samantha, like, go from being this, like, oh, like, I don't need to understand you, and being really pushy and things like that, of trying to get people to see things her way, and then playing, like, the victim all the time, to then being someone who actually, like, steps away, and it sort of allows the people who are struggling to, like, get to a better place. Was just a really nice character development for her. She was my least favorite character for most of the show, and then wound up being, like, an okay character. She's still not my favorite. Like, I vibe with, like, the old guys, to be honest with you. It was just nice to see every single character have, like, an amazing arc, and even the random NPCs, if you're a gamer, you know, like, the side characters that weren't as significant to the story, still having, like, a pretty good role in the story that didn't feel inorganic, was really, really cool. And it's just so nice to see a show like this that's just so feel good. It doesn't take itself seriously, but it's also so serious in some moments, and then those moments work. It's just extremely, like, rare to get in a show. Plus, obviously, I have some personal bias because of me liking karate, and also the thing with my cat that I mentioned before. But I just felt like all of the messages in this show and all the characters and the dialogue is so incredible. Like, bro, when I think it was John Kreese, when he approached Kim's grandfather and was like, oh, you're not gonna force her to, like, train the way that you're training or whatever. And he was just like, this is the path that you chose. I was like, it's a perfect response. Like, I want to use that in my personal life. I don't think I'm nearly as cool as that character to use that line, but I'm still going to try it one day. If somebody presses me or steps to me or disrespects me, I'll be like, this is the path that you chose. It's so good. Them using a lot of, like, the same lines over and over again to demonstrate, like, a vibe or like a feeling or an emotion, like, Johnny Lawrence saying hell yeah, like, that means so much to him to say it in that way, right? Or, you know, strike first, strike hard, no mercy, don't be a pussy. Just seeing a lot of the characters, like, sort of embracing other characters in their lives, like Danny LaRusso embracing Cobra Kai and embracing that sort of fighting philosophy. Even at one point, Johnny was embracing the Miyagi-Do philosophy. Bro, even Mr. Miyagi had an arc. Like, he's not even alive, and they literally, we thought that he was, like, this stone cold killer, which eventually it's just he was defending himself and something that he loved, so of course he had to kill someone. But, like, that was really cool. I didn't expect Mr. Miyagi lore in Cobra Kai, even though he's dead. Which the AI stuff that they did, like it was okay, but, like, you could tell it's AI, but, you know, it is what it is. They do it in Star Wars too. Like we gotta live with that. But I just love it. I love it. With all the criticisms that people might have about it, I felt like everything was just so fun and enjoyable and feel good and funny. Like I laughed so many times. I just love these characters. I love the dialogue in this movie. Like every time, especially when there was tension and like two characters were like saying their perspectives, it was like watching a live action anime. You know what I mean? It's just so incredibly good. So I loved Cobra Kai. It's probably my favorite show of all time. I said it was one of my top favorite shows of all time because I really like Stranger Things and I like the original Daredevil shows. I like the X-Files. There's a few other shows that I really, really like. The first season of Mandalorian, which, whatever, I'm not really into it anymore. I think this show is probably my favorite show. Now that all is said and done and like I've gotten to process it overnight and sleep on it, I think that this is the best show ever made. Whether it's not critically the best show ever made, I don't critically review shows or movies. I just games. And I think Cobra Kai is my favorite show ever. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to this rant about Cobra Kai. Sorry I got all emotional, but it's an emotional show. And I'm just so happy that I got to experience it in my lifetime. So thank you to all the actors and writers and people who made it happen. Like, I'm so fucking grateful. You did so much for my life. Like, I looked forward to Cobra Kai. I binged it. I didn't want to do anything else. Like, I just found the show to be so incredibly entertaining and good and perfect and just a really, like, just a me show. Like, if I want anyone to know about me as a person and how I navigate life, just watch Cobra Kai. That's just my vibe, 100%. So I want to get back into karate now too, but I'm getting old. Well, anyway, if they could do it, I could do it, right? Thank you guys so much for listening. Let me know what you think of Cobra Kai. And strike first, strike hard, no mercy.